I ain't have to kick that man in his nuts. I chose to kick him in his baddest tag team on the planet.
How dare you?
Tell me I got the voice of an angel.
Leave Britney Spears alone right now!
Hi guys, welcome to my channel.
It's time for the great podcast with your host, Randy Howell and Jason Pelt. That's right, we are back for another outstanding podcast with Jason and Randy, your host with the most.
Word.
How you doing, buddy?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Had a great trip to the Oregon coast.
Yeah.
That was fun. Took the fam and bought a new truck. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you need to get that?
No.
Okay.
It's my eat food alarm.
Oh, did you want something to eat?
No, I'm good.
Oh, okay. Well, it was great. Bought a new truck and I went to the Oregon coast. And then I come back and apparently the Chinese are trying to take down Pelosi. So we've got a lot on deck to talk about today.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
it's
you
so
also-
great to always have you
Right?
just so engaged in the
But
conversation.
you also forgot to mention that you had your first paddleboarding experience.
Why do you think I forgot, dude? That was just the cherry on top of
amazing.
this audio Sunday that we're about to send out to everybody.
That's right.
You know, here it is.
For our multiple hundreds of listeners in Romania.
We're just shy of 6 million listeners now.
In Romania
Yeah.
alone.
On YouTube. Don't pay attention. I reached out to YouTube, and they said that counter that says 12, it's wrong. It's closer to 6 million. We're almost close to 6 million.
For sure.
Yeah. So look out, Joe Rogan. We're
That's
coming
right.
after you.
No, I don't think that's happening.
No, I don't think so either.
Oh,
but
okay.
it's fun to think that we are.
Yeah, so life happened.
Life happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Yeah. Tell us about life happened.
Well, life happened to me last weekend when somebody bought a truck.
That's true.
That was such a weird experience.
Wasn't that fun, though?
Yeah, but it was like, I don't know. It was almost like a fugue state because, like, I didn't realize what was happening
Right.
until you all of a sudden bought a truck.
Well, and I think I shared with you, too. Oh, shit, I think I bought a truck.
Yeah.
Right. So it was really cool. The auctioneer, 25, give him 25, where did you give him 25, blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
right? That whole thing. And that kept me really engaged, man. I mean,
It
that
did not keep me engaged. I was just like, what?
Yeah, I was into it. So you could totally concentrate on what the guy's saying and where he's pointing, and then they got internet bidders too, and so it was fun, man. It was just really, and I held up my sign, and the guy points at me, and it's like, yeah, I'm somebody.
So we need to start at the beginning for Romanians.
Oh, okay.
So, like, Randy texts me. He's like, hey, so instead of doing the podcast this week, let's go buy a truck.
Let's go to an auction.
Yeah, let's go to an auction.
Yeah.
And I was like, sure, because he's like, someone's going to drive my car back.
Yeah,
And
if I buy a truck.
if I buy a truck. And so we go there, we look at all these trucks. And did you bid on the truck that we looked at?
Well, okay. So that's fair. Did I bid on the truck that we looked at? No. Did I make a mistake and bid on a truck that I said, no, I don't want this one?
No.
Yes, I did.
Really?
Because I saw this one. You can look, online inventory.
Mm-hmm.
You can look at it. And I saw this one for 220,000 miles.
Yeah.
And it said front end problems.
Oh, it did?
Yeah. So I was like, okay, so I don't want that one. But that's why I kept asking you, what is the lot number? Because I couldn't see the lot
And I
numbers.
told you.
And no, this one you couldn't see. You're like, I don't know.
Oh.
But when this truck came around, it looked great, didn't it?
Yeah, it does look great.
Yeah. I mean, the body is clean. There's two little tiny rust spots, but that's it.
Yeah.
The bed looks used, which is
Well, supposed to.
it's supposed to be.
Truck.
But the inside, you'd never know anybody was driving it. It
No,
had drove
it's
that
really
truck.
nice.
It's beautiful. And so, 4-wheel drive. And I was like, I just kind of got confused with the 25, what it goes, And so I was into it.
You
And
got
I lost track. I was in, man, I was in the ether, man. All right. I was
Yeah.
in it. And and I was happily in it too. I was excited.
He was smiling. He never smiles. It's kind of funny.
No, I smiles.
You don't smile.
Sometimes I smiles.
No. You are right now.
I am right now, right? So, looking at the body of this truck and stuff, I got confused and went, okay, great, I'll take this one. And the guy doesn't say, and by the way, this is the one that's got a screwed up front end and is 220,000 miles. Let's start the bid. He doesn't tell you that. That's your thing to go look at. So, with that confusion, I held up my card. And I bid a few times.
I think you got it.
I did got it.
I know, but I thought there was another bid.
Right. There was a guy in the back behind me, and I think they were trying to get his attention, and I think they were trying to get a bid out of him, and he declined, and it went to me.
Oh.
Sold $62.50. Jason, I think I bought a truck.
That was fun.
Yeah, I think so, dude. And then the guy comes over with the paper. You sign it. We're like, okay, now what? I don't know. Let's walk around and go figure it out. And then we went and saw it, and we looked at it. Hey, what's the last F-150 they just brought in? Oh, it's this one over here. Okay. And we looked at it. We looked inside, and we were like, that's cool. That's a good-looking truck. Hey, this might not be so bad.
Right.
And then we go through the process. I paid for it.
Don't forget the food truck.
Oh yeah, and we had a burger, and
that food truck was great.
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd say great, but I would say it was pretty good. Great. Yeah, and so, and don't forget the Folgers coffee that we bought for $2 for a 2-ounce cup of coffee.
Pretty good for $2.
It was Folgers. I asked her.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Did you say,
Yeah. I was going to push Northwest Blends, and I thought, I'm not here for that. I'm not on the payroll. Let's just move on with it. And what kind of coffee is this? Oh, it's just Folgers. Oh, okay. So it was gross.
It wasn't
but
gross.
Once you drink the Northwest Blends, you can't go back to Folgers. There's just
there's Folgers in my house.
Oh.
Well.
And I forgot to tell you, folks, this will be the last podcast we do here anyway.
My partner buys it because she likes it. And she also buys Northwest Blends.
Okay, good. Well, my point was, so we had that. But we went, and then after we paid for it, we had a slip in our hand. Lady says, go give it to the guy with the keys.
Right.
I did that, and was pretty excited. Still a little nervous, but pretty excited. Like, coming down out of the ether, just dropping that money, and it was just like, okay, let's see. So we get in it. It starts up.
Yeah.
And we're like, this is great, Jay. I think all we got to do is pull out. All right. And there's no power steering. So I am just manhandling this truck. It probably would have made more sense to pull it straight forward and try to lift up the back end of it and just pivot. It was so hard to steer. So then we go, we're on our way home, and we like, all right, let's go throw some power steering fluid in this thing. And the reservoir is full. And it's like, okay, all right, it's broke. So
yikes.
Got a good deal on it. I mean, it's got a lot of miles. I get it, but the thing sounds like it's brand new. I mean, the engine,
sounds great.
Yeah, is perfect. That check engine light that's on.
Yeah.
Went to O'Reilly's, borrowed the sensor reader, checked it out. It's a P0011. And what
exhaust leak
what does that mean to the rest of the world? It means it's a camshaft position sensor.
Oh yeah.
So I looked it up on YouTube how to fix it, and the guy made a quick video. It's just right down inside the engine. You just unscrew it, pull it out, put in the new one. You don't have to take shit apart. So
maybe it'll fix your power steering issue.
No, but it will get rid of that stupid check engine light, and it'll go from 9.1 gallons per mile, and it'll be more accurate.
Oh, nice.
It's reading off because of that.
Oh.
Is what my buddy Dave said.
Yeah.
So good. And I got an appointment Tuesday to drop off the truck and get the front end, put back together or whatever the problem is with it. So we'll get that done. And, even if that costs me a few extra,
still a good deal considering trucks are like $80,000.
I know they're stupid expensive. So I'm still proud of it. And worst case scenario, if we buy it and something else happens and it's a POS,
You
I
can
still
sell it
have
for
room.
$90,000.
I still right. I still have room, to move this rig. So, make a profit and then maybe go try it again, but be more organized next time.
Yeah.
The new auction's up. I looked at it.
Hey, so how's your car doing? I didn't see it up front.
It's in the back.
Oh, well, how's it doing?
So far so good. It's just chilling back there.
Cool, because last Saturday was the first time I drove a stick
Oh yeah.
since 2008.
Oh yeah. No, I thought you meant, how's it doing sitting back there? No, the Vandals haven't gotten to it yet, but I do have a new clutch on order too. So
No, you don't. I didn't
when it
ruin your
when
clutch.
when you sit there for 30 minutes going
That's not what happened. I got the hang of it pretty quick. It was just so weird because
it's odd.
you have to really think about where your left foot is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I find myself now doing that since I've been driving my car.
Oh, okay.
What am I doing with my left foot?
Nothing.
Not a damn thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and when I get into Audrey's car and I drive that, I still stomp. I still look for my clutch. And so we took that vacation to the Oregon coast. And we rented the new 22 RAV4.
Yeah.
I think it was a sport edition or
How
something
did you
like
like it, Randy?
that. Freaking loved it.
Yeah.
That's what fired me up about getting a new rig.
Yeah.
Right? I loved it. And it's it's a very comfortable car, man. Or SUV or whatever you want to call the
It's a good
RAV4.
rig.
Yeah, it's nice. Got lots of room and a lot of cool little features on it, bells and whistles that most people already know about because they own a car that's later than
Been made in
the
the last
aughts.
5 years.
right. So,
How old is your Caliber?
it's an '07,
Oh, wow.
but with all of our rigs, it's paid off. I don't have any car payment, so to me, it's just it has a lot of value because it's paid for. So
Yeah, my partner, she had a Caliber.
Yeah.
It's probably the same year. And she loved it, and I never could figure out why, because I never drove it.
right.
After driving your car, I'm like, I see why she likes it.
It's kind of neat. It's a good
little rig.
it's a utility rig, but it's not. Look, back in the days when I sold cars, I swore I would never own a vehicle. I'd never own a Dodge Caliber or a PT Cruiser or any of those. Why
wouldn't you own a Caliber?
They're just
I can see the PT Cruiser.
They're
I
just
think
disposable
shit.
cars, right? They're POSs. I've never seen one that I liked. And then we were in the market for one, and I just wanted something cheap. And I think this was $8,500 with 30,000 miles on it when I bought it. And I was like, okay, and it's a manual. Okay, I like manuals anyway.
Yeah.
So I bought it. And it's a great car. It's served me well. But if there's an incline greater than 3%, it has no guts.
No, it does not.
It has nothing.
Because we went up Argonne, and poor Jason was struggling.
Yeah, I watched you. I saw you sitting way back there, and I'm like, I know what he's going through. I want to call him and go, nope, you got to shift to second.
I did.
Get the RPMs up to
Eventually.
6,000 and shift into third.
Like, wow.
Yeah. But I figured you had your hands full and you'll figure it out.
No, I figured it out.
Yeah.
But I was just like, what is happening
Right.
right now?
Yeah. It was it's pretty crazy. But hey, if you own a Dodge Caliber 07 or earlier, go ahead and slap that like button. Don't forget to subscribe.
Slap it a like.
But it was crazy, man. It was and it's cool cuz every once in a while I'll go outside and I'll open my front door and go, that's my truck. And it just looks good sitting out there. I just
like
feel
that?
like a grown up. I feel like a man cuz I got
Feel
my truck.
like a homeowner now. Your mother's a whore.
So I sent pictures of it to one of my buddies, and this guy owns a Tesla. He's like, "Oh, great," and
God, that'd be nice to own a Tesla.
and then he started sending me things back. Well, here's your Trump flags, and here's all your stuff to put on there. And I was like, oh, yeah. And then we got to talking. He goes, I'd really like to mess with people's minds. And I want to find a way to mount Trump flags to my Tesla so I can drive around town. Like a "Don't tread on me" in a Trump flag and put it on my Tesla and drive around.
You know what you should do with your truck?
I have no idea.
You should put a Harris Biden flag on it. Like, a sticker on the back window. Because you know how some of the rednecks in Idaho have the Confederate flag?
Right.
Instead of that, just Harris Biden. Just to see what people do.
Do you think that would be, that would also mess people up too, wouldn't it?
It would.
That would be
like
fine.
a giant Ford F-150, Harris Biden.
Dude.
I don't care about the oil crisis.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of that, we got some topics that we need to touch on related to Harris Biden. But first, we got to do a quick message from NW Blends. We'll be right back to the NW Blend Studios in just a moment.
Deep inside.
Deep inside. Hey, folks, Randy from the Great Podcast. Hey, thanks for listening to our podcast, and we appreciate it. Now take a moment and visit our sponsor, NWBlendscom. NWBlends.com offers the freshest coffee you can get available today. It's awesome. Coffee from around the world brought to you and roasted when you order it. The coffee, that's it. They don't roast it weeks or months in advance. They roast it when you order it so you get the freshest coffee available. Single origin or blended coffee, it's up to you. Drip, you can get it in toddy, espresso, or beans if you like to grind your own. NWBlends.com. This is the place to get your coffee. Maybe you're not a coffee drinker. That's okay. They've got you covered. Coffee is available as a gift. If you want to give the gift of coffee to somebody this holiday season, do it. NWBlends.com. You can even just buy a gift card and let them buy their own coffee. This place is fantastic, folks. You're going to love it. NWBlends.com. Great sponsor of the Great Podcast. You should try it. You're going to love it. All right, folks, and we are back. Awesome. So, related back to what we were just talking about. So, what did Pelosi... Chinese don't fly to Taiwan. Well,
and she did it anyway.
Which, look, I'm going to give her credit for that. I'm going to say, nice job. Way to go.
But you forgot the best part. We will shoot your aircraft down.
Yes.
If you try to go to Taiwan.
So it's my understanding they said we'll shoot the fighter jets escorting you there if you do. If you do go there. I don't think they threatened to shoot her down.
I don't know.
But I think it was worded a little differently.
It's worded slightly different to where it's not a direct threat, but also whatever.
Yeah, right, whatever. And so she went anyway. So as much as it pains me it's to do this, I'm going to say good job. You just flew the middle finger to the Chinese.
That's right.
Right? Now, not to all Chinese, to the Communist Party.
Right.
Right. That's where I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
Okay? But yet companies like the NBA and stuff that bow down to the Chinese and do all these PC things and these, social constructed things that they want done or not done or done a certain way, that drives me nuts too. So I would boycott sports, but I already am not a sports guy. So
there you go.
It's like hating
Boycott
peas
successful.
when you already hate peas.
Boycott successful. Not watching it.
Right.
Yeah, but did you hear what the Chinese did because of the visit?
No, what did they did?
They're like, we're going to fucking turn around and barricade your island, and we're not going to sell you any more sand.
Okay, do they need sand?
Yeah, for construction, because it's an island.
Yeah, right, I get it. Taiwan's an island.
So they build up, they make it bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Right, with the sand.
With the sand.
Yeah.
So they can expand.
Yeah.
So now the Chinese isn't going to sell them sand.
Nope.
Who else is right in that area that could sell them sand?
Pretty much China.
Isn't Vietnam right in that area?
ish.
I mean, could they put some on a boat and just send it up?
The problem is the Chinese blockaded Taiwan.
Oh, I see what they did.
So you're not getting your sand and you're not getting nothing else. And then China's refusing to buy Taiwan's exports.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Yay!
So, okay.
So us going there made it harder for the people of Taiwan.
So let me recap then. The current Democratic Party ruling the country, our country, made things worse with some of their decisions.
I think they made things harder for the people of Taiwan.
Yeah. Okay. They made things worse.
Because the communist Chinese are trying to invent a crisis so they can unify their country.
Right. I get it. Yeah, it's Taiwan is part of their area, they believe, and all. Right, I get it. I know the whole backstory, but I wanted to put across my point, which was our current administration trying to do something just screwed it up. What'd you say?
I wouldn't say that.
I would
say that the visit has made life harder for the people of Taiwan.
Right, but not screwed it up.
You know what?
What?
I don't think it was a mistake, but I also think that that the consequences for the people of Taiwan, I don't think they were signed up for that specifically.
Right, but not a mistake.
Oh my God.
What?
I'm not going to say it was a mistake.
Oh, no, I'm just trying to clarify.
I'm saying the Chinese
just trying to clarify your
needs
statement.
to stop being such jerks.
Oh, okay.
Like, there's no reason to embargo an entire country and refuse to buy their exports because they talk to people we don't like. It's stupid. They're just trying to create a situation where Taiwan's backed into a corner and they're thinking, well, maybe they'll come begging to be part of China again because
we don't give them sand.
Right.
Yeah, I get it. But not a mistake, right? So we just wanted to clarify, but not a mistake.
Not a mistake.
Okay, cool. So do we have barges full of sand on the way over to Taiwan to help them?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
But you might want to check your Google machine.
My Googleizer? Okay. I just wanted to clarify. So for the record, not a mistake, but they are now no better off. No. In fact, maybe a little worse because they don't have sand for sandboxes or for fun time at the beach.
To construct things.
Or to construct things.
Yeah, but I mean, China is...
What about all those Taiwanese kids that now cannot get sand for their sandboxes?
Well, it's mostly for real estate development.
It's for the children.
Okay, we'll go with that.
Would it be safe to say the Chinese hate children?
I would say they probably do not.
Okay, all right.
But I think it all rolls into China's difficulties maintaining... Because, so they have the lowest GDP of, most industrialized... One of the lowest GDPs of most industrialized nations.
Taiwan.
But China.
Oh, China.
And they've been growing... Their economic status has been growing exponentially, but the people are poor. Right. So GDP is basically gross buying power.
Have you seen that girl on YouTube, Ayeon? Ayeon? She plays drums to different things. I think she's Chinese.
Okay.
She doesn't look poor to me.
But anyway,
I think she has money.
The people are poorer than they should be, considering
where the country is.
Yeah, where the country has been.
Right.
But because of all the outbreaks that they've been having, they shut down a few months ago. They shut down Shanghai for a month. That's one of their main manufacturing centers.
Right. And was that because of COVID?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So China has a zero COVID policy.
Right.
So basically, people start getting COVID, shut it down.
Shut it down.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work because then people can't work and earn money.
Right. I get it. I get how that works. And then, but that was a brilliant move. But folks, we have established not a mistake. So let's just move on. But not a mistake. So
I mean, why do you think it's a mistake? That's what I want to know.
Well, she made this visit, right? And she was advised not to,
By
just
who?
I think there was people in her party that said, no, probably not the best move. And we probably have some other things that you could probably be doing that would be better off.
Well, did the boss tell her no?
No, because he doesn't know. The boss is not
He
one
doesn't know.
you won't seek permission from the boss. The man elected is a puppet, bro. I'm sorry. He's just
What do you mean?
he's on his way out.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
You think he's going to be a one-term president?
Yes.
Who do you think's going to swoop in?
Well, I know
24.
Pelosi's not running for her seat again, right? So she's out of that. So she won't be back. I don't know. Who do you think? Bear Harris. Harris is probably going to take over, and she'll run because I don't think he's going to. Or if he does, no, he probably will run again, but I don't think he's going
That's
to
malarkey.
I don't think he's going to get elected again.
Really? Who do
Yeah.
you think's going to get elected?
I have no idea who's running.
Do you think your orange boy is going
Oh, no,
to
he's
run again?
Yeah, I think he'll run again, but I don't think he's going to get nominated. I don't think. I mean, and to be honest with you,
I would say golden boy, but he's orange.
he's orange. But look, he may run again, but I'm not saying that I would vote for him just because the name is so tarnished. And I got to tell you, man, he had a lot of great things that he did that I thought was good that I would have done.
Name 3.
But he did some other things. He let up on some policies, some that we had, and he reversed them. He got rid of them. He's like, no, we can do this. We can do this. What was the? Oh, come on, Jay. The restrictions is what I wanted to say on certain things. He allowed us to dig and drill in our own country. We had, we were self-sufficient as far as energy went. Now, do I think we should drill and use more oil? I don't think it's sustainable, right? I think eventually that's going to run out. So, but in the meantime, that is what we're currently using. But if you have someone like AOC that says, no, by 2023, we're not using any more gas or oil, I think that's going to bring this country to a screeching halt.
It's also not sustainable.
It won't work. But you could take, and this is from Elon Musk, you could take a 100 square mile corner of Arizona, and that would, with solar, and that would supply the country with enough energy to use, right? You could do that. But everyone would have to have electric cars, and it would power their homes and all this kind of stuff, which is great, but you still can't pull the plug on fossil fuels. So I think
Yet.
Right, not yet.
Right.
I agree. And it would kill our country. All right? It would just kill it. So when Trump made it, so that you could drill in these areas that, are now forbidden again and all of that, then it to me that was a good move. I liked that. It's like, okay, he's trying to keep the country moving.
I'll give you that.
But at the same time, we can still develop. We have private companies that are developing, the solar energy, the alternative energy movement, which is fine too. I agree with that as well. I don't care. I just need electricity to turn my lights on. All right, that's what I need. I don't own an electric car, so I don't care. But in Washington State in 2030, you're not going to be able to buy a new gas-powered vehicle.
Right.
So that may come,
and I think that's a
in 8 years.
semi-reasonable time frame.
I think that's absolutely ridiculous. In 8 years, I'm not paying $70,000 for
But
Tesla,
they rolled that out 2 years ago. So
what do you mean they ruled it out?
They gave everybody a decade.
Okay.
Make the switch.
Right.
And it's not like you can't have your caliber if it lasts that long. Right? It's just you cannot buy
a new vehicle. Right. I get the wording. I understand that. But I still think that's stupid. Okay.
Well, they're making more reasonable options for electric vehicles.
Good. And when it gets reasonable, that's fine. But to go out and buy a new one is still pretty expensive.
Well, a Tesla, yeah.
Well, okay. But even the Chevy Volt, what are those going for?
Yeah, I'm looking.
Or the Nissan Leaf. And
I like the Leaf, man. That car is cool, man.
There's a lot of manufacturers coming out with rigs. I get it. That's good, but I don't have a charging station in my at my house.
I think the Leaf they'll come and install. It's either the Volt or the Leaf. They'll come and install it.
Okay, well,
for free at your house.
So the installation is free, but how much is the unit? They just
give it to you.
Do they?
Yeah.
Okay.
For
all right.
one
Well,
of them.
we're going to look into this a little bit more, but we have one more break we got to take. We'll be right back to the Northwest Blend Studios after
Deep
these
inside.
messages. Deep inside. All right. Hey, folks. Randy here with the great podcast. Hey, I want to tell you about our sponsor, NWBlendscom. NWBlendscom is serving the best coffee available today. You're absolutely going to love it. You can get single origin, or you can get coffee that's been blended. Different beans from around the world coming together to form the best cup of coffee and the best coffee experience you can have. This stuff is fantastic. Jason and I drink it every morning before our podcast, and it fuels our day. It helps us go, and we love it. This coffee is fantastic. Go to nwblends.com and choose the coffee that's right for you. There's medium roast, there's medium dark, there's dark roast, there's something for everybody there. And these guys are always expanding, looking for more and new coffees for you. It's absolutely the best. Give them a try, nwblends.com. And when you're ready to buy, use GREAT in the promo code for 15% off your order. That's a great deal. nwblends.com, folks. You're absolutely going to love it. Give them a try and tell them that the guys from the Great Podcast sent you.
Yeah, the Cybertruck.
We're back.
So.
I think we're back.
Okay, so
We're talking about Cybertrucks.
The Volt is about 30, it's 29, so and some change.
That's not bad, man.
No, it's not bad at all. And then I'm looking for the Leaf here.
But I think those rigs would be fine. I mean,
Yeah.
they're good, but it's, if I want a new truck, what am I supposed to do? Do I have to go to Oregon or Idaho to buy one?
Well, no. All right, so the Leaf is like a fully loaded Models 36.
Okay.
That's not bad.
No.
Well, Tesla was going to have a truck.
Right.
The
but it's
Cybertruck.
But it's too Skynet looking for me, right?
It was
It's
weird.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like a stealth bomber with all the weird angles and stuff. I mean, I get it. That's kind of cool. And if you've got
It's not
stupid,
cool, though.
if you got FU money, then go get one. But
it
me,
wasn't that bad though. It was like 45.
Yeah, and
you couldn't put. I didn't feel like you could put shit in it.
Right.
It was
you
weird.
couldn't. It was a small, but it was just
like-
enough to be called a truck.
Kind of like a Subaru Brat.
Kind of like that.
that?
Yeah. Yes, I do. So, and Elon even showed you can throw a rock through the window.
Great.
Remember that demo?
Yeah.
Shatterproof. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he did that.
It's so,
So-
weird. But yeah, I mean, it's like, oh man, truck options are pretty low. I've never really seen a good truck option for electric or a hybrid.
Right. Yeah, I think it's kind of totes ridiculous. I mean, the price of trucks right now is stupid. And, so.
Like, I tried to buy a truck like 6 months ago, and the trucks that they showed me, I was like, oh, I'm not really into this. And they're like, yeah, we'll give you $9,000 for your car, but you owe us almost $50,000 for this truck. And I'm like, what the hell?
I know, right?
And it was beat to hell. It was like a 2011.
Yeah.
It was beat to hell. The interior was not as nice as yours. The body wasn't as nice as yours.
Yeah.
I was just like, I don't like this at all. And they're like, drive it. I don't want to drive it.
The feel of the wheel seals the deal.
No, I was like, I don't want to get anywhere near this.
Because you'll fall in love with it. That's what happens.
I will not.
Yeah.
Not for that. I mean, it's just like overpriced.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so my vehicle's in pretty good shape, right?
Right.
No engine problems, none of that, right? And they're just like, oh, we'll barely give you $9,000 for it. I'm like, no.
So, and it's paid off though, right?
No.
No. Oh, okay. So you might have some negative equity then.
I do. Because I bought it. It's 2016. I bought it in 17, I think. Hold on. Yeah, 17, and it had 25,000 miles, and like the first owner replaced the engine right off the bat, like with a better engine.
Right.
But it's a good rig, and I was just like, this isn't as low valued as you think it is, and I'm just like,
So did you Kelly Blue Book your vehicle?
Yeah.
Okay.
like 15.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So $4,000. That's about right. $5,000. You know, they hit you that far below, and
Right.
then so I don't know. I mean, car shopping. What I do is I go back and I say, "How did you come up with that?"
I did.
that-
and they're just like,
I did.
"This is what we're going to give you because this truck is worth gold." They were dicks.
Where was this at?
Oh, God, I can't remember the place. You know where Jack in Box is on the bottom of Division?
All right.
It's that place right across from Jack in the Box.
Oh, okay.
So it's,
Oh, yeah. That it's kind of a pot lot.
yeah. Yeah.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, like my experience.
They've
there.
grown.
They
I mean,
grew.
that place, they must be selling rigs. I
Yeah,
bought
they
a
are.
I bought a
but
Jeep
it was just
there.
Rude. They were just rude. I think if I ever explore buying a new car, I'm gonna deal with an actual dealership.
Yeah.
Other
Well,
than-
just be dicks back to them. That's all.
I was,
You know.
and
Yeah.
They told me to get the out.
Okay. And so you just go, great.
Not
All right.
Like,
Yeah.
peace, dog.
Yeah. But they know someone's going to come along and buy it. That's
Yeah.
the problem. And a lot of those places do in-house financing. I think that place,
They do.
yeah. And so they're just a finance company is all they are. And, and they'll go ahead and they'll fund you, but at 29%,
Right.
you know, no matter how good your credit is.
Right.
It's like, no, you guys,
And my credit's really good. so
yeah, it's like get bent.
yeah.
Yeah. Or you just go, you know, I don't need financing. I'll find it somewhere else, but we need to work on the price.
Yeah.
And, you know.
I tried that too, and they're like, "Oh, we have to send the paperwork to your bank," and I was like,
Okay.
"I don't really like the way you're doing business."
No,
It was
just-
very aggressive.
Just tell them, say I have. Yeah, they have to send the title and all that stuff. Will go to the bank, and the bank will hold the title. But you know, just tell them, okay, what if I just pay you cash?
right.
You know, then the financing is out. We don't have to worry about that. You get a loan with your bank. Say this is the VIN, these are the miles, this is the rig, and I wanna buy it. And they'll say, well, it's worth this much. And then you can go back and say, okay, I have a private loan, and it says they're not going to lend for that much because it's grossly overpriced. So if you can get me out the door with this price, then I'll buy and drive today.
Yeah,
Deal? Oh, well,
yeah, because they're not making what they thrive on is that interest.
oh yeah, of course. 30% interest,
They're
man?
not gonna want to do that.
Nah, that's stupid.
But I mean, that's the whole problem, though, with these lots trying to sell the trucks is that
Right.
they're just because they're high in demand because of the law that's going into effect.
Right. Right.
So,
No, I get it. But can you buy a rig from out of state?
yeah,
A new rig?
Yeah.
And then have it licensed in Washington?
Yeah.
Oh, I can. I just can't buy a vehicle here.
I mean, you can. It's just you have to deal with a bunch of BS.
So what are dealerships going to do? So you've
I
got
don't know.
Window Ford, you've got, Camp Chevrolet. These people they have new inventory.
They're gonna be selling some. Well, they're probably gonna be selling the hell out of trucks until 2030.
I would think so, right?
Right,
But
just
then
like
after that,
selling like hotcakes.
what's their plan? Are they going to title it in an employee's name and like just do a sale for $1, sell it back?
I think so. I think
And now, because that's what makes it used, is once it's been titled in someone's name, it's now used,
right.
right? So, I mean, I'm sure dealerships are coming up with methods of getting around that. Nope, it's been titled in someone else's name. It was drove for 1 mile.
Well, I mean, they're gonna have to start switching their stock to hybrids and electrics, for sure.
Yeah, but Camp Chevrolet, they don't have. I mean, they have a new Colorado that came out. They have, the Silverados.
Yeah.
And then they've got the, 1500s, the 250s, the 3500s.
Well, what about all their...
So they're not going to come out with hybrid versions of those, I don't
Right.
think.
So, okay, so does the law cover used vehicles? Can you sell used
Well,
vehicles?
that's my point, because you made it clear that the law says you cannot purchase a new gas burning vehicle. So does that encompass hybrids, like the Prius? Yeah, that's a hybrid.
I think hybrids are okay, but you won't be able to, from my understanding of laws, you won't be able to purchase a new vehicle that it solely relies on fossil fuel.
Right. Okay. So that's my understanding too. So with that being said, I mean, the Chevy Cobalt, you know, the all these different rigs, the Malibu, you know,
No.
Impalas, they all have.
Mustang, Charger.
I mean, they're all gas.
Yeah.
So are they going to have to create a new version, or are they going to get around that and say, okay, these are all pre-used or pre-owned and change the way we buy cars? So all your vehicles now are pre-owned because they sold it to somebody for $1.
I got it.
You know, I mean, I should go talk with one of the guys down at the dealerships I used to work at and see what, you know,
what their plan is.
what their plan is, you know, have they come up with anything? And I'm sure the sales guy is going to be like, are you here to buy a car? No. Then fucking quit asking dumb questions. So,
Like the people you used to work with are going to say that?
no. But I think the people, you only work at a car dealership for so long. And then you move on
Yeah.
to another dealership. I don't think I know anybody at these dealerships anymore, but I'll see.
Huh.
I mean, there's some lifers.
Yeah, there should be.
But typically you just,
Why
you
wouldn't
know.
there be lifers?
Well, I think, like, I got a buddy that was there long before I showed up at Honda, and he's been there long after, but I haven't talked to him in a very long time, so he may have moved on. You know, you get new leadership in a dealership, and, you know, they come in and they bring in their gang, their guys.
Bring in the boys?
Yeah. You know, Larry H. Miller, they sold out to Findlay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Larry H. Miller got rid of all their dealerships. They sold them all.
Well, it still says Larry H. Miller on the marquee.
And it's supposed to say that for, from my understanding, it was worded in the deal that these will remain LHM, you know, dealerships. But I saw a commercial that said LHM is now Findlay Auto. So
Really?
yeah, it was a real quick one, and I don't know if they're going to change the branding soon or what, but you know, I'm sure it was so much for so long after the sale, you need to keep the, you know, the name. And so, but yeah, I did see a commercial for it. So it was Findlay Automotive. I think they're out of Texas, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway,
They're out of Montana.
maybe they are. I don't know. I thought Texas though. But so you know, I'll go down and see, because a lot of times when a change like that happens, that corporate office will bring in new GMs and just kind of deplete the old stuff and bring in new blood, fresh ideas, new way of doing things.
Did you ever work at Auto Nation?
Never.
Why?
I never wanted to,
Why?
because
I want you to say it.
they give away the cars, man. There's no
Yeah, they do.
gross. They fucking give them away, dude. There's no gross.
Which sucks if you're working on commission.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you don't make. A lot
I
of
sold, I think it was back then at camp, I sold a 95 Ford Explorer. I mean, interior was like my truck.
Butter.
Nobody ever sat in that car,
Like butter.
but it had over 100,000 miles on it, and I made what's called a 5-pounder. I made $1,000 because there was $1,000 in gross
Oh.
profit on that, and so, or no, there was 5,000 in gross profit, and I got 1,000 of it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was I think my best deal I ever did. The guy asked me for a discount, and I said, no, I can't. You've seen the vehicle, it's beautiful, it's the best that I can do for you. Okay, and he signed it.
Sticker price was the best you could do.
Yes, it was.
Wow. Wow.
That was the best I could do for him. But I got a voucher for $1,000, so I was pretty happy.
What's a Why would you not?
Oh,
get
they call it
money?
a voucher. So some dealerships, it goes back to the old days. So when you make a sale, they'll handwrite you a voucher that says, that shows your commission off of that. And they give it to you for your records. A lot of places don't do it anymore, but they call it a voucher.
When do you get the money?
On payday.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so the voucher. And
I've never sold cars. So.
Yeah, and so back in, oh my God. So I had just started selling, and they wrote me out a voucher. They said, yeah, you just take it up to the cashier and she'll pay you cash for it. I went, oh, okay, cool. $250 voucher. Cool, I'll put $250 in my pocket. And they were just playing me. And so I walked up and go, hey, I'd like to cash in my voucher. And I could see her looking, and they're all laughing, and they're like, no, that's not how this works. The voucher is just for your records. It'll show up on your paycheck. And I'm like,
Okay.
good one, guys.
I have a question.
Yeah.
And this is, you ever notice that there's never like old and unattractive women that work at those counters at dealerships? They're always young and pretty.
Right.
Why is that?
I don't know. I was never included in the science behind that, but I got a feeling there's something to it.
It's just weird. I've never experienced.
Right. There's always young, hot
woman.
Yeah.
And not to say that older women can't be attractive, because they can be.
Oh yeah. Now you're digging yourself a hole. Yeah.
Not.
Yeah.
But I was just like, it's always weird. I've just always noticed that.
Right. Isn't that funny? Oh, I know what you're saying, because all the dealerships I've worked at, they're all really young, cute girls that are there, and I get it.
And when they get a little older, they suddenly disappear.
They get moved to the back. They get moved to
Or
accounting.
they
Something.
work somewhere else.
Well, I don't know, dude. I don't know the science behind that, but we do have room for one more break from the Northwest Studios.
That's right, deep inside.
Deep inside. Hey folks, Randy from The Great Podcast. Hey, I wanted to tell you about our sponsor, NWBlendscom. NWBlends.com is fantastic. It's absolutely the best coffee you're going to have ever. You're going to love it. You can get single origin coffee. You can get blends and then grinds. How do you like your coffee ground? Do you want it in bean form, espresso? Do you want it in drip? Perhaps you like toddies. NWBlends.com has everything that you're going to need for the best cup of coffee. I guarantee it. You're absolutely going to love this. NWBlends.com. Give these guys a try. And for doing so, if you put GREAT in the discount code, you're going to get 15% off your order. Absolutely. You're going to love this. Give them a try. NWBlends.com. Coffee roasted when you order it. Absolutely going to love it. All right. We're back. Okay. I think we are. It's not rolling. Where's my numbers?
Roll Tide.
Oh, it's there we go. Now we're back.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that is.
No one does.
Okay. Great. Glad you brought it up. Folks, we are just shy of 6 million viewers or subscribers, so don't be afraid to slap that like button right in the face. Do it.
Yeah, so you know what that does? It knocks Randy's dick in the dirt.
Yep.
Every time.
And then I have to take a shower and then
That's right.
wash it off. But if you do that, if you hit like, if you hit subscribe, if you even comment down below, it helps trigger that algorithm and puts us in the top 50 million.
That's right.
Of
And knocks
podcasts.
Randy's dick in the dirt.
Yes. So do that. So we during the commercial break in W Blends. How's your coffee, by the way?
That was good, man.
You like that?
Yeah.
That was
I drank it super fast.
that was crazy good.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's on their website. I asked them for some of that. I wanted to try it, and it is crazy good. It was delicious. I liked it.
It kind of tastes like Folgers.
You know what?
I'm kidding.
You're about to get struck.
What notes are supposed to be in that?
I didn't look at the notes. Did you want me to?
I mean, you're always going on about
The notes?
applewood notes and whatever.
Applewood.
Grapefruit,
All right.
poop.
You know I don't come up with those, right? That's the cupping.
I didn't know like what the deal was with, because I never like the only one I really noticed was the white coffee has a distinctive grapefruit note. Which is weird. I'm like, why in the hell does this taste like grapefruit?
Well, the white coffee is gonna, it's definitely a very different.
But it tastes just like grapefruit.
You think so?
Yeah.
All right, here's the crazy good. What did they describe that as? High mountains of El Salvador, Honduras, and India. Highly recommend this coffee. It's so good to full flavored and rich. It doesn't have any tones on that one.
It was full flavored and rich, though.
It was.
Yeah.
Let's see here. This coffee is like nothing I've had before. Great service and very top shelf. I wish they had easier monthly ordering system.
Wow. Well, it was a lot better than my El Diablo I got from Thomas Hammer earlier today.
You got an El Diablo coffee?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I like it because it's spicy. I'm serious,
Yeah?
man. It was real good.
Well, that's nice. Good. I'm glad you...
The coffee I had from NW Blends was actually better.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
But, so what were we talking... We're going to go into war with China. That was something we were going to talk about.
Yeah.
And you questioned what would that look like, right?
Yeah. So would it be a full thermonuclear attack on China's part? Would they invade Alaska for the oil? See, that's a thing. So you brought up earlier that we're not utilizing our own resources, basically hoarding, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like keeping our strategic reserve strategic, right? Where's a lot of our country's oil?
Alaska,
Right. So
Texas, Minnesota,
it's conceivable
Dakota.
that because
Oklahoma.
Alaska is easier for them to reach, that they might decide to
Get that.
get a little Alaska for themselves.
I don't think that's going to happen. I think it depends on what. So how would it look? I think
Is
it
Russia
depends
going
on
to stop them?
what. No, I don't think so.
They're going to let the Chinese army? I mean,
I don't think the Canadians are going to help much. They might, you know.
What I'm saying is, how far from Russia is Alaska really?
I think they're right next to each other. You
Right.
couldn't get more closer.
So considering we're pissing off the Russians too,
Right.
China goes, we want to go through your country to take a little bit of Alaska for ourselves, and Russia would probably be like, $100 million, please.
Is good.
He's good.
Yeah. So maybe, I suppose that's a scenario, but I think it depends on the leadership that's running this country to see what, we would do to curtail that.
But we would be significantly outnumbered.
What are you talking about?
The Chinese military is far larger than ours.
Great. Ours is unmanned for the most part.
What does that even mean? We don't even have people in the military?
Nope. A lot of our arsenal is unmanned.
Right.
Right. So we're not going to lose anybody roughly to that, to that war. We just manufacture machines that go out and fight for
Whole frickin'
us.
state we could lose.
We could, but I don't think we're gonna. I don't think we would. Now, what I could see happening is they're doing something stupid, so they poison the Bering Sea, and now we have no crab legs at $35 a pound.
Wow. I got dark.
Right.
I got real dark.
But it could ruin our
I
great
don't like
seafood.
that. I don't like that.
And then what's Deadliest Catch going to do?
Right.
So just look for the glowing spots and go around them.
Well, I think Deadliest Catch would be out of business if China took Alaska.
Yeah. I don't think they would. I think they know that would be, they wouldn't try to take a piece of America because it's not in their best interest.
It's not even really a piece of America.
We put a flag on it and we said this is ours, and
It's
so
a piece of Canada
okay,
that we took.
fine. So whatever,
Which
but
is
it's
so
now
weird.
it's America today.
It is.
Okay, so let's get past the stupid,
What?
whatever you call it.
Okay, geographically, it's a piece of Canada.
Sure.
It's not like there's like a mountain range in between Alaska and Canada It's just a border
and a road.
and a road.
Well, that's what's between America and Canada. Just a few roads going north,
Yeah, I know.
right? Same with Mexico-ish.
There's a fence.
Okay. Oh, yeah. There's a fence, yeah.
That's weird. Okay, so why do we have a fence for Mexico but not for Canada?
Because Canadians are not trying to sneak in.
Wow.
But I'm sure, yeah, it makes perfect sense to me. I'm fully on your question because if I was going to come in, all the focus is on Canada or on Mexico. I would just go to Canada, put me on a boat up to Canada, and I'll just walk in.
Right.
Right, and I think they do. Hey, can I see some ID? I don't have any. Oh, sorry about that. Have a good day.
Sorry about that, eh? Well, too bad our border crossing coming into America
Is
is
American.
not manned by Canadians.
Right, it's not. I get it. I was just trying to make a joke. That's all.
Well, I just thought you were ignorant and uninformed.
No, I know that we don't man the U.S. border with
That's
Canadians.
good. I'm glad you know that. I'm glad you know
I just
that.
had to fit in. Oh, sorry about that. Right,
Sorry about that, eh?
right. I just had to fit that in somewhere. It didn't have to make sense. It just was.
Now,
You know.
what would... Okay, so what
Sorry,
would,
I'm not conforming to your woke comedy.
No, but what would... I don't have woke comedy.
Uh-huh.
But what would it sound like if the Chinese army was at the Alaskan border trying to come in? What would that sound like?
Well, I have a lot of really good jokes that just hit me, and
Do it.
it would sound like this. Don't guys song wang now. Sorry,
But what would the border guard sound like?
that was awful, but probably pretty close to that.
No, the border guard. The
I get it.
Alaskan border guard.
I don't know. Like, what's the accent?
Yeah, what would that sound like?
Well, it sound like Sarah Palin, I guess,
Yeah.
which is kind of a Canadian sound. You know?
Like, oh, welcome to Alaska, eh? You can see Russia from my house. Come on
sure.
in, boys.
Come on in, guys. Yeah, we got a lot of fresh salmon. Oh, you guys are going to love it. It was poached.
Come on in, boys.
We have some grilled salmon as well. You guys are going to like it.
We're here for your oil.
Oh, sure. Oh, sure. You might want to drill over in that way. Over there. That's Tom's property. He'll let you drill on it.
And we're going to kill you all. Sorry.
Oh, okay. No big deal. Have some salmon if you guys get hungry.
See the polar bears, eh?
Oh, don't hurt the beers. Yeah. We try to protect the beers as much as possible. No, I said the beers. No, all the long necks and the 12-ounce. Don't touch them.
I bet you
Right, because
dollars
beers.
to donuts, the Chinese army would harvest them to improve their stamina.
Maybe. Yeah. But I don't know exactly what you just said. I just agreed with it because I have... harvest what, dude? The Canadians? Or the...
Gallbladders to make a powder. The bears. Harvest the bears' gallbladders to make a powder to improve their stamina.
Yeah,
For the
maybe.
drilling.
Okay, that makes sense.
All the drilling.
I don't know. I know our country leads the way in a lot of stuff, and I don't think the Chinese are going to get in the way of that. And I don't think they're going to try to invade America at all. I think they'd rather do what they've been doing, which has been very successful, just buy American companies and buy American land.
Like ports.
Well, ports, just big companies that do a lot. And then, if you're a rich business owner in this country, you can influence decision makers, i.e.
Like,
Congress.
say, Donald Trump.
Yeah, I'd say Trump, I don't know, what's he going to do? He'll give you half off on your room.
Well, when he was president, he was probably influenced by foreign powers.
Probably more like Hunter Biden, being on the board of a Ukrainian power company.
I mean, he's not allowed to work.
Oh, that's exactly what I said. That's
He's not
exactly
allowed to
what
have
I
a
meant.
job?
I'm sorry. I forgot about your woke mentality.
So-
no, he's allowed to work and stuff. And if a company is dumb enough to hire him with a lack of education that he has, I mean, I think he's perfect, actually, to sit on the board
Of a Ukrainian
of a
power
Ukrainian power company. Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Well, I'm sure he's more educated than the typical Russian oligarch.
Probably. Yeah. And
Little
not
bit.
speaking the language, I'm sure those board meetings that he sat in was just great.
Yeah, that's why you open Google Translate.
Oh, and
just
then
have it
sits there.
do its thing.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
perfect. So that solves
You
everything.
don't
It
need
sounds like
to
he should be there.
Learn the language to live in and work in a foreign country. You just open Google Translate on your phone.
Yeah, that's all you got to do.
It just
Well, then he's qualified. Yeah,
back
he's
and forth.
in the right job. He should be there. So, yeah, kind of like that, though. He's perfect for that position.
Did you know there's no Japanese word for cheese pizza? It's just cheese pizza.
All right. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Huh.
I stopped that argument in its tracks.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm not sure what argument you're talking about, but no, right on, dude. I
Hunter
agree with
Biden's
it.
not allowed to work is your argument.
Nope, not my argument, folks. Go ahead and slap that like button and subscribe if you'd like to punch Jason right in the face
Right.
for that bullshit.
So,
Yeah.
So here's another question. So are Americans entitled or should be allowed to work for, say, a large Chinese company?
Sure.
As long
Where's
as
the
it's
large
on
Chinese company?
There's lots of large Chinese companies that hire Americans for work on American soil.
Okay. So a Chinese company that hires Americans in America
To conduct their business.
because that's where Americans are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why?
Well, you're acting like having a job with a foreign company is a bad thing.
Nope. Again, your woke delusion has clouded my message.
How am I woke? I'm not woke.
Yeah. Okay. We're gonna put a poll up there. How many people think Jason is acting woke at the moment? You can tell how woke he is by how not awake he is right now. So
I'm very awake.
yeah. So Jason, again, not what I was saying, but using your woke techniques, you're trying to convolute my my point and misdirect it. You ever thought about running for presidency?
No.
Oh,
I'm not interested.
I think you should
Nope.
be a congressman.
Nah.
No?
There's already a bald guy who's probably going to run for presidency here in the next couple of years.
Who's that?
Fetterman,
Fetterman.
the lieutenant governor of Pennsylvania.
Oh, wasn't he married to
remember that
Britney
guy?
Spears?
No.
Who's that? A Fetterline.
Fetterline.
Oh, sorry.
No, Fetterman's cool though, man. He had some stuff to say about Mr. Trump and the validity of the election in Pennsylvania.
Really?
Yeah,
What did your woke spokesman say?
it's not a
Tell you
woke
to say.
spokesman, but it was funny because they were challenging the ballots,
Uh-huh.
right? And they were like, "There's no way Joe Biden could have more votes," and he just said, "Math is math." He just sat there. He's like, "Math is math. He has more votes." Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't there. I have no dog in the fight. There's nothing I can say or do. I don't know. I can't say it was all fake
But maybe he'll
because
take
my guy
Biden's
lost.
place.
I can't say that, but
Maybe he'll take Biden's place on the ticket.
maybe. I don't know. I mean, if Biden's doctors say he can't run again, because
Oh my God,
that's fine. I mean, I get it. It's a.
he's obviously well enough to serve.
I don't know. If,
According to the doctors, he is.
yeah. Like Dr. Fauci, you mean? Like that kind of doctor, or his wife, Dr. Jill Biden? Did you see that
I
clip?
don't think those are the people that check him out. to
Oh,
make sure
okay.
he's okay.
Yeah. Did you see that clip on The View? Whoopi Goldberg.
I'll watch The View.
I don't either, but there's a clip on YouTube about The View, and Whoopi Goldberg was talking about Jill Biden, and they burned her right there after she opened her stupid mouth. She
How
goes,
did they burn her?
She goes, and Dr. Jill Biden, and by the way, who's a fabulous doctor, one of the best out there. And her co-host looked at her and went, well, she's more like a doctor, like a teacher. And the look on her face was like, oh, not like a regular doctor. And they're like, yeah,
She didn't
she's
say not a real doctor.
no, she just kind of had this dumbfounded look on her face, like, oh, not like a doctor. And after just saying she's a fabulous doctor, one of the best out
She's
there.
a fabulous doctor.
Folks, that concludes this episode
She's
of the
a great
podcast.
doctor. There's good people on both sides of the argument.
Wasn't it like an honorary doctor? Or what do you mean a great doctor? She's a teacher. She has a doctorate in teaching, doesn't she?
I never really got that deep into it. You want to know why?
But you just called her a great doctor. Can you explain
to me?
She's a doctor,
and she's great.
Oh my God. Yeah, you keep talking. I'm typing.
Hey, there's good people on both sides. We just need to learn how to get along. That's what it is.
Uh-huh.
No, I'm serious, man. Okay, so she has a PhD. Right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Have there been any complaints about her performance? Nope.
As what? A performance is what?
As a doctor.
The first lady?
That too.
What is really behind the flap over Jill Biden's doctorate? What's a flap?
It's like a...
People flapping?
It's like a argument.
Horrific doctor has been snide and unfair. Oh, okay. Well, this is going... This isn't going to tell me anything. It's just defending her of how we just need to leave Jill alone right now.
Leave Jill alone. I mean,
She received an ed degree. So you can call her a great doctor all you want to.
She's a great educational doctor.
Great. Oh, that's just fantastic,
She's
dude.
had no complaints.
Really?
Yeah.
That we're aware of?
That we're aware of.
Oh, okay. So this is there.
Well, she definitely wouldn't be the one to give Joe Biden a physical.
Well, maybe.
She's
I
not
mean,
qualified.
they are married, but she's a great doctor. I'm sure they cover physicals and that.
Yeah, she's not that kind of doctor.
Anyway, so Whoopi Goldberg says she's a great doctor and opened her mouth, and when they corrected her, she just had this stupid look on her
Stood
face,
there.
like, how am I going to backtrack out of this? And it was beautiful. I almost recorded it so I could have it, but I didn't.
I don't know why you're so interested in the failings of Whoopi Goldberg.
Just because she's been such a ignorant loudmouth. It's kind of like somebody you would see for the right, like
How's she ignorant?
what's that doctor? The example I just gave you.
Dr. Fauci?
No, Whoopi Goldberg. That example. But you asked, how was she?
Dr. Fauci's a doctor.
Yeah.
He was President Trump's doctor.
Yeah.
And then he got all, for the pandemic situation, he got all pissy with him.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was like, you can't say stuff like that.
He can say what he wants.
Yeah, clearly. It was America.
But anyway,
I can say that I'm immune to the coronavirus.
So to answer your question, she's a complete just horseshit idiot when it comes to...
Who, Whoopi Goldberg?
Yes, that.
I mean,
that right
give
there.
me an example of
I
it.
just fucking gave you an example.
She made a mistake.
No, she blabbermouthed and she was... all right, finding the article, or finding the clip. Sorry. Folks, this is an extended podcast now. Hang tight. I'm going to find it.
Just
and I'm
like brazenly declare Whoopi Goldberg stupid just because you
oh,
don't
I
agree
did.
with her.
I did, though. I did.
That's like me going, ex-President Trump is an ignorant, megalomaniacal asshole because I don't like him. I don't actually think he's a megalomaniacal asshole. I just think he's very misguided and
All right.
unsure of himself.
For some reason...
And for the record, I didn't appreciate him in the debate going, well, I took this drug and now I'm immune to the coronavirus. That's
Yes.
not a thing.
Suspended from the view after Holocaust. That's an example. That stupid thing about how she said the Holocaust. Whoopi Goldberg. Let's get this straight. That's who I'm talking about. Whoopi Goldberg, you asked for an example of her idiocy, her retardedness.
Sure.
Whoopi Goldberg was suspended from the view after the Holocaust comment. She said the Holocaust was not racially motivated. Yeah. Well, let's just keep looking.
Okay, so You could look at it from that lens, which is no, seriously. Okay, so are the Jewish people a different race? Or are
Well, they're a human race, but
hold on,
isn't
or are they a group defined by their religion?
I don't know.
And the Holocaust was not just exclusive to Jews; it was also gypsies and homosexuals. Were
Okay,
persecuted.
there you go, folks. Jason Peltz
And what?
just
Not
defended.
defending- no,
just
not
defended it.
defending her.
Yes,
I'm just
sir.
saying you
You
can look
just
through that
defended
lens.
it. So that is
It wasn't okay, man. But there were other people affected by the Holocaust. That kind
Right.
of makes it less about "quote unquote" race and more about hey, the Nazis decided to kill a bunch of people they didn't like.
oh, okay. Why didn't they like him? Can you share that
Because
with
they
me?
conflicted with their world of view.
Which is what?
White Aryan nationalism.
So the white race?
Yes.
Okay, so it's not racial then.
I'm not saying it
they
wasn't.
don't-
I'm just saying you
You
can
are.
look at that through
You-
that lens. You can
Yes,
look
if
at
you
it.
and we should redefine what racism means. I mean, to be a part of your woke agenda, let's just redefine
It's not a
that.
woke agenda because I
and
don't
just-
find anything wrong with what she said per se. I think she shouldn't have said it because it makes her look dumb as hell.
Why? There's nothing wrong with what she said.
There's not, but you don't say that crap on TV because you look like an idiot.
But not because, you know.
It's not technically wrong. What? It's not.
The Germans killed other people because of their race.
No, it wasn't just because of their race.
Okay, so it was because of their race and other things.
Yes.
Okay, so that makes it racial still. Oh my God, you're splitting hairs.
But they killed Germans who were homosexuals.
Yeah, they didn't like that either.
No.
Okay,
So that's all I'm saying.
so she was still an idiot.
Yeah, she shouldn't have said it.
Okay,
But she did.
all right. So
She probably shouldn't have said Joe Biden's a good doctor without doing her research either.
right.
So, whatever.
That's my point.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Look, and to
okay,
be
so
fair, there's a lot of things that Trump said that he should not have said.
that we're
Right,
dumb.
that I don't agree with. So I'll just put that out there and just tell you that I agree. There's a
For
lot
the
of
record,
things he shouldn't have
I don't
said.
really care for Whoopi Goldberg.
She might hear this podcast and be upset at you. Are you sure at your next woke meeting she's not going to get upset at you
I'm
and
not part of
and-
any woke agenda, and there's no meetings.
and put you out there?
Yeah, I don't care for her.
All right.
I liked her in The Color Purple,
Yeah, she's
She's
got
good.
some good acting chops, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
and what was
Anne
that?
Heche died. Speaking of acting,
All right, hold up. What movie was Whoopi Goldberg in where she was like a singer? Sister Act.
yeah.
That was good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I heard about Anne Heche last night, and I'm not really sure what happened.
She was driving her car and crashed it into a house. It caught fire and she died later.
Well, that's really sad. And I heard she was on drugs, so we shouldn't really be feeling bad for Anne Heche because she almost killed somebody.
Right. I think it was, she burned down someone's house. But
How's that for a woke agenda? Like, I don't really think people should feel sorry for her. It's sad that she's gone. I'm sure she has family that'll be mourning her loss, but I mean, damn, you almost
So,
murdered somebody
let
and
me-
burned down their house.
let me play the role of a woke person and describe to you how you're going to get canceled now because of that comment.
What, because I don't think...
She's gay, she's lesbian, and you hate lesbians now, and we shouldn't.
don't.
You feel like you shouldn't be sad
No,
for
I don't.
lesbians.
I don't think I should be sad
You
for
just got woke.
somebody who,
Sorry, pal.
who made really bad choices and almost cost other people their lives.
I just woke you up.
No, you didn't.
You got woked.
Nope.
You got waked.
Nope.
You got wakeboarded.
Let's see.
That's like being waterboarded with wokeness. Wakeboarded.
Okay, so let's see here.
But I didn't know who she was. I mean, I knew she was Ellen's lover for a while.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything else that she had done, but she did this movie with Harrison Ford that I liked,
That's a really good movie.
where they crashed a plane on an island and they had to live with each other or something like that. I don't know.
All right, so here is Mr. Trump on September 11th. I think I could have stopped September 11th because I have very tough illegal immigration policies, and people aren't coming into this country unless they're vetted and vetted properly.
There you go.
Dumbass.
No, that's not dumbass. You say, okay, put your money where your mouth is.
Okay, Trump on abortion. Do you believe in punishment for abortion? Yes or no, as a principle? He was asked this question. The answer is there has to be some form of punishment. For the woman, yeah, there has to be some form. Really?
Yeah.
So that's not a traumatic enough experience for a human being.
So
Got it.
you know what? And that's a tough one for me
It
because
is tough.
and I think we've covered this before. We've kind of gone
We've
into
not
this,
talked
but
about abortion.
I'm not. No, but I think we've talked about my views on it, and I'm not in favor of abortion for birth control.
Yeah.
Right. That's the thing. It's and I think there are people out there that use it as birth control. The new thing that's happening now is, I believe it says it's illegal to have an abortion unless there's, life-threatening to the mother, or I forgot what the other part was. But I can't remember. Anyway, but it was like, okay, that seems fair. So what they're doing is they're illegalizing abortion because someone went, oh, fuck, I got knocked up. All right, let's go get an abortion and we're back to normal. I think they're avoiding that because there are a lot of cases where it becomes a contraceptive, which I'm not in favor of, But if it saves the mom's life, or rape or incest was the other one, I think, it's like, okay, you weren't willingly impregnated, and so to me that makes sense. I'm not happy about it. You could always give the baby up for adoption or something. I mean, there's other things, but as my goal would be to stop abortion for the birth control part of your sex life, right? I mean, that to me, if you're careless, I mean, if I go out and I drink, I kill somebody, there's no way around that. Yeah. It's something that I made a mistake doing, something I have to pay for, it's something I have to live with, right? And so I get those consequences. That's why I don't drink as much.
So this is kind of like, with the whole abortion argument, it doesn't matter what you and I believe, right?
Right.
In my opinion is a woman's body is their own fucking business.
Right. And that's the other part of my struggle is that, me, don't tell me what to do with my body. You don't have a right to do that, which is why I don't get
one of the reasons why we're friends, and I respect the shit out of you. Right.
And you should. I'm very respectable.
But the point, though,
yes.
I think we can agree on that. But the whole problem with this entire situation is that middle-aged or older white men have been having this conversation for over 70 years. Okay. And it's not our goddamn business.
Right. I agree.
That's why I'm so pissed off about the Supreme Court doing what they did, because it's a bunch of horse shit.
Yeah. I agree with that. And I also wanted to bring up this because you did say something that just triggered me, so I need to look at it.
God,
yes,
we need to have video.
I got triggered. I know, right?
Triggered.
Yeah.
Or it's like when you call the cable company and they detach their nipple covers and they're like this. Oh, tell me more about how upset you are, and they start tweaking their nips. Have you ever seen that episode of South Park?
Jesus, dude, that went weird fast.
Have you ever seen that episode of South Park where they're dealing with the cable company?
I don't think so.
It is so funny.
So, all right. So there's 1, 2, 3 ladies on the Supreme Court. One lady looks to be of a not white origin.
Who cares? What?
It
doesn't matter what they look like.
There's an African American fella that's on the Supreme. Well, because
Mr.
you're saying
Clarence Thomas.
All these 70-year-old white men are making these rules.
Middle-aged white males have been having this conversation for 70 years, and guess what?
These are all not middle-aged people.
Okay, how many people are in the Supreme Court?
So there's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
And how many of them are not white males?
1, 2, 3, 4. 4.
Okay. So there's 8. You say 8 or 7?
There's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Okay.
There's 9.
9. So the majority of them are what?
White males.
Okay. Hence the problem.
No, I don't think so.
Wasn't it what was the decision? Was it a unanimous decision? Or was it a split decision?
For the Supreme Court, Roe v. Wade?
Yeah.
I don't know. It must have been majority. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Exactly.
I mean,
So the whole point is I don't really think that this is ever going to be solved.
right. It's tough for me because I told you my conflict.
Right. I know.
I don't believe in abortion, but
It's the very
in certain
same
in
conflict I have.
certain situations it's called for, But I think there's a lot of people that, and I've had a discussion with one of my blue friends, and it's a tough one because
Jason's
also
wearing all blue today.
I'm not he is head to toe blue. But I'm also, don't tell me what to do
Right.
with my body. And that's why I'm unvaccinated.
That's why
No,
I'm
you're not
shocked.
going to make me vax.
But that's why I'm shocked that this even happened, because most of the conservatives that I interact with and that I know share our same views.
Yeah. A little bit of a struggle there, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's a tough one. And I would hate to have to be involved in that. So I think to split the line a little bit, they talked about, in what circumstances would this be fine?
Sure.
Right? So there's that. So that, to me, kind of helps clear up. So in these instances, abortion is legal. It's fine. All other things where it's like, whoops, I got knocked up.
Mm-hmm.
How am I going to tell my mom and dad? I got school on Monday,
But you think about this, okay? So you're a young woman.
Yeah.
That happens. How traumatic is
It's
that
very-
experience for her?
And both having the baby,
Having to make that decision.
yeah, having the baby or aborting the baby, that's a very huge decision.
Right.
I get that.
And I don't personally believe that it should land on a young girl. Okay? Not that young women aren't capable of making their own decisions.
But it's a
just
tough
burden.
situation, and life
Yeah.
experience may play a role in that.
Right.
And I get
It's
it.
a
Accidents
burden,
happen.
and it's going to stick with you for the rest of your life.
Right. Here's something else too that I find, a little bit concerning. I get the whole, don't tell me what to do with my body. I can't
Yeah, you
tell
do.
you enough how on board I am with that. Right. I fully am. But I hear people chanting, or I see slogans and stuff saying, don't tell me what to do with my body. It's my body, my right, my decision, da da da. But how come not more people are going, yay, babies get to live now? How come people aren't more excited about, yay, we get to help eliminate infanticide, right? This killing of babies. That's what it is. Now, we can get into the argument of when life begins and
Right.
all of that, but we can all agree there's
We
a
kinda
fetus in the
have to.
womb and we take it out, So, but, that's kind of my thing where it's like, the silver lining or the brighter side of this is, less babies die, because of that. But does that really happen? Are they going to push abortion underground? Does that mean you have to
Right.
go to a different state for it? Does that mean, all these different things? So, and California gives you a bus ride and a, hotel room and a trip to Disneyland for it. So it's, I mean, there's ways around it if you are going to have one, right? I get that.
And what my fear is, personally, I think it's the same fear that you have, is these young women will be pushed into going places they shouldn't go,
Right.
and endangering themselves
Right.
to get this procedure.
I get it.
And so,
And that's not great. That's not something to be.
not something we should be forcing our children to do.
Right. But there's also people that aren't children that are doing this.
You know what
for
I
the
mean?
same reason, though.
Our women shouldn't have to go to a
And I don't know what the
unlicensed
percentage
medical professional.
of high school kids or young women have an abortion. I don't know that number. And so I'll be upfront with you. But that's my conflict on it.
Yeah.
You know, and do I have an answer? I don't. I don't have an answer for it. But I think the decision in the way it was written is a step in the right direction for both sides. You know, so, you know,
But I disagree with that because basically at the end of the day, you're telling women they don't have control over their body.
I get that. I get that. In these certain situations, I mean, because this isn't just a procedure. It's not an appendectomy.
I know.
You know, so if we minimize it and call it just a procedure, then that kind of takes the sting out of it. But calling it for what it is, you have to be, you know, it's not a root canal, man.
I know.
You know, so I understand there's a lot of pressure. I mean, high school, there was a few girls I knew that had this procedure, right? That had an abortion, and it was not something they were proud of, and they carry that burden to this day of having to go through that. But and it should not be taken lightly.
No, I don't think it is.
But it was in high school, the rubber broke, you know?
Yeah.
So it wasn't rape, it wasn't incest, it was, you know, this type of thing. And they had that option available. They did it. And have they had more since then? I don't know. I
doubt it.
But I know what they went through. I saw what they went through, and it's not a great experience. So it's not so much saying you can't do this with your body. I think it's more of a message of you need to think this through a little bit, you know, and it's not readily available to you, you know, like to just do. It's you know, so I don't know. I don't know, dude. I can't say that I'm happy about the decision, but I can't say I'm upset about it. You know, I'm still in the middle of it. It's a really tough one to you know, have to deal with. I don't want anyone to go through it.
Is the effect it's had on women that I know, because it's upset them a great deal, and because it's the government saying you cannot do this. And I did see one slogan that I really liked at one of the protests recently. And this lady had this sign, and she said, if I wanted politics in my vagina, I'd fuck a senator.
Right.
I was like, man, that is like, the signs are the shit.
Yeah.
Because it's real, man. It's just raw, unfettered emotion. Because these women have been told that
you can no longer do this with your body. Right.
And what's next, right? So it's got to be really scary for women because, okay, so now you can't have an abortion. Okay, what's next? Do I have to be subservient to a man and live under God's law? Right? For them, you got to think about it like that, though. For them, that's next. That's their fear.
Oh, well.
And it's
they're
not
trying
an
to
unproven fear. Have you ever seen The Handmaid's Tale?
No.
Oh, it's pretty good because it's basically like, okay, so America had a revolution and a theoretical Christian government basically made all women subservient to them, right?
Okay.
Because there was climate change and infertility issues. And so basically they rounded up fertile women and made them basically incubators for their babies.
Right.
And it was pretty horrible. But you got to think about it like from the lens of a woman that, you know, okay, so what's next down the road for like me losing my freedoms? Am I going to lose the right to vote? Am I going to lose the right to hold property and financial?
I feel the same way when the Biden administration added that thing now, so banks have to report when you have a deposit put in or you spend a certain amount of money. That I agree. That's the same kind of the government, you know, what's next, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, but for women, it's a little more real because they just lost a right that they've had for 70 years.
Right. I get that. I understand what you're saying. And so to bring up that movie paints kind of a sci-fi picture.
TV show.
TV show. It paints a
It's on
sci-fi
Hulu.
picture of what could happen. It's an imagination run wild, and I don't think that's the thing. I don't think that works because, I mean, the law of the land is the law of the land.
You have to realize that, okay, so psychologically we've lost this freedom, and so you just go to your worst fears.
Right, I get that.
Right.
Same thing with the financial thing I just talked about. How into my finances is the government going to be? Look, I'm not hiding anything. I don't have offshore accounts. I don't care. But I do care.
Too bad for you.
I do care that, I have to answer to Joseph and his new $80,000 or 80,000 IRS employees that are now going to, question my finances. I think it's all crap. I think it's stupid, and I think there's too much reach from the government. And that Roe v. Wade is a big decision they had to make, and I would never want to have to be in that position, right? That's a tough one. And so I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you. Are you all right?
Yeah.
Are you sad?
A
No?
little bit.
Okay.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's just not an argument that we can
Solve.
do anything about.
Right. I get it.
It's just, it sucks. The whole situation sucks.
Right. It does. It's a tough one. And I would hate to have that on my bench in front of me. Just not.
Right.
Because I have daughters. I have granddaughters. I have a wife. And again, I go back to my don't tell me what to do. Washington State says now I can't have a gun that holds a certain amount of ammo, over a certain amount, 10 rounds. Well, I don't like having to reload my gun all the time when I go shooting. It's a small thing, but to me, it's stupid. They just want to make sure I don't go into a school and shoot more than 10 people at a time.
Yeah, I'm really glad you're reasonable, because usually, like, when people are being dickish and unreasonable about this, I go, okay, well, recently we've had a string of shootings.
Well,
and hold up, and maybe we should look at the Second Amendment, because when the Second Amendment was drafted, none of the shit that we have now was really thought about.
They were all single shot.
Do you really need a goddamn arsenal?
Right.
In your house? The answer is no, you don't. Get over it. You don't need semi-automatic weapons. And, well, maybe we should think about that. I mean, how would you feel if somebody started fucking with your right?
They have.
Well, you know what I mean. Like, actually going, you know what? No, Randy. It's been hundreds of years, but yeah, you're right to keep and bear arms. Fuck you.
Right.
You get to keep a revolver. Thanks.
Right.
Turn the rest of that shit in.
Right. And that conversation I've had with other friends, and
but you're not unreasonable, so I don't have to have that conversation with you.
And it's a tough one to have, but you're right. We didn't have those things back then. It wasn't, a semi-automatic. Well, we've outlawed automatic.
Yeah.
And so
now only outlaws have automatics. Yay!
Right. So that did a lot of good.
It did.
And when you outlaw magazines over 10, all they did was say you can't have it shipped to your home.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Thank God I live 20 miles from Idaho, and I can go over there and buy what I need.
But here's the other thing is, like, when I have to get extreme with that argument.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you're right in keeping bear arms, cool. So everybody gets one goddamn musket. Learn to enjoy black powder, motherfucker.
So I think we can look at it at a different angle, to be honest with you. Like, you had me look at this Roe v. Wade at a different angle. Well, the same thing with this. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I shoot my gun in a range, and I practice, and I sharpen my skills, and I enjoy doing that. And I pick up all my spent shells, so they're not sitting on the ground.
Anybody on the planet has a problem with that.
So, but somebody out there is making a blanket law that says now I can no longer buy these guns that have the amount of ammo that they carry.
That makes you happy.
Right? It makes shooting easier for me when I'm out shooting.
More accessible. You should come at it from an accessibility standpoint.
I don't think it's an accessibility. I think it's just instead
my
of
hands don't work the way they used to.
because I get
kind of a pain in the ass.
I get into a mode and I'm popping off rounds and I'm doing great and you can hear the bell gong down at the end of the bong
and
bong
then it's all
bong
gone.
and I'm rocking it and now I'm out of bullets. Now I got to reposition and I don't like it. I like being able to just keep ringing that bell, man. It's
Just
fun.
pop that clip out,
Now,
throw another one
Some
in.
people are sick and deranged and they go into schools and they shoot up the kids.
Agreed.
And I think that's awful.
It is.
And how come we're not looking at it more in the fact that the amount of ammunition, because these kids, when they go to do this, don't have 5 rounds in a revolver, right? They have a lot of ammo, and no matter what law is passed, it doesn't seem to affect the shooter, right?
No.
So let's look at it a different way. I would be willing to fund, and help if my taxes go up because of it. Armed security people.
Because that's what we need more of in schools.
Well, I think security people would be a better option. It kind of sends a signal saying, "Hey, there's no, playing around here. We're not. Come into our school with guns and we'll shoot you. We'll shoot you dead. You're not going to hit the kids. We're going to hit you. It's that simple." And you put up that type of defense. Now, these don't have to be soldiers walking around the school scaring the kids.
Right.
Right? They can have something in their back. They can have something on their chest, with a jacket that covers it or something like that. There's ways to conceal it that doesn't freak the kids out and makes it very inconspicuous. So there's that. There's also locking the doors that I think would do great. I think once the kids are in, the doors are locked. If you have something, there's one door open and there's a guy stationed there. And if you come in with, Matrix style and you put your guns in a duffel bag and throw them through the metal detector, then we need to have a discussion and we need to stop that threat at the door. But I think that's much better than taking away private citizens' right to bear arms or magazines that carry 25 or 30 rounds because we can't look at any other solution. I think lowering the amount of ammo you have in a magazine, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't fix anything.
Other than it making it more enjoyable for you to shoot, there's really no purpose beyond that for having more than whatever is determined to be a reasonable amount of ammo.
In today's like today, just take today.
Yeah.
August 13th.
2022.
2022. You're right. You're right. But the other reason is for something that's not currently a threat, which is, a hostage, or not hostage, but a uprising. Hey, we're coming door to door. Hey, there's gangs in your neighborhood. There's something like that. I'm not going to be in my house with 5 rounds in a gun while someone's breaking into my door. In a situation like that, if you're woken up, you're not. You need some extra rounds, and to defend myself and my family in case of an intruder, I want extra rounds. They're not going to stop and pause while I reload or put a different magazine in there. So they're going to continue to do their thing. But and the way the current laws are written, you need to put more than one. Because if you shoot an intruder with one shot and kill him, you're a trained marksman. You know what you're doing, and now you've murdered an innocent man. But the way the laws are written, if you empty your clip in the guy's chest, you can now plead how scared you were for your life and all of this. And it's not my laws, man. But for those reasons, I would want more ammunition as well as recreational, right? I would want to be able to carry more. If I pull out my AR and I slap in 30 rounds, I feel good. I feel confident. Let's go see who's breaking in the house.
Now we're talking about feelings.
Okay.
Mark this day on the calendar. This is the first time you've ever heard a conservative talk about their feelings.
Okay, so let's put it this way. I am then at that point more secure in securing my home and protecting my family because I have, ample rounds. I have ample magazines, and I'm ready to go.
Well, I can agree with that as long as we get this school shooting business under control.
Right. So let's work on the other thing instead of restricting my rights first. Let's try something different. Something that seems like it's going to work better and send more of a message. All right, we've now made it so you can't have more than 10 rounds in your gun. So no more school shootings, right? We're good?
No.
Okay, so that didn't work. So let's take that off the books and let's do something different. Agreed?
I think we should figure it out.
Folks, this has been the Great Podcast.
Yes, it has.
This is your extended 1 hour,
Bonus
40 minute.
Oh, my God.
We went off today.
We did.
We should take more breaks.
Okay.
So we have a lot of pent up frustration and topics to talk about.
Well, let's see how we do.
Let's see how we did. Folks, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. You know you got to do it. You just feel it in your bones. Go ahead and do it. We're close to that 6 million subscriber mark. We'd love to have you be a part of it. What? Hold on. Hold on, folks. This just in. You have to pee?
All right, we're done.
What do you want to do?
I got to go to the bathroom.
Oh, you do have to pee.
Up.
Okay. All right, folks, from the Northwest Blend Studio, this is Randy and Jason. Have a great day.
Later.
Hey, folks, Randy with the Great Podcast. Hey, I want to tell you about NWBlendscom. Coffee roasted when you order it. That's right. It's not roasted until you order it. Notice how it doesn't say coffee roasted weeks or months ago? Dare I say nay. This coffee is roasted when you order it so that you have the freshest coffee available to you today. It's fantastic. Check out any of the single origin coffees or the blended coffees for that great, rich, never bitter flavor from NWBlends.com. Guys, as an added bonus, we're putting in a discount code. Use GREAT at the discount code at checkout and receive 15% off your order. You are absolutely going to love this coffee. It's the freshest, best coffee you can get today off the internet. You're absolutely going to love it. You're just gonna. That's all there is to it. NWBlends.com. Check it out, guys. You're absolutely going to love it.